My next play of the day comes up in race 3 with number 3, Piaggio. Should lead or settle outside leader, and hopefully in an on-pace dominated race, it's too strong.
It's Piaggio sprinting up in the middle, kicking hard. Piaggio and Nick Piaggio. Piaggio beat Montana Isha.
So we'll start at Randwick with race 6. I like number 10, Boston Rocks, and I reckon it's got class and plenty and should be winning this race.
Boston, he's working hard for the victory, and Boston Rocks will beat Infatuation. Union Army from last got up to run third.
This horse has been highlighted in the trial show, which I really have an opinion of. Race 4, number 3, Otago.
Otago lengthens though at the 100 metres, and he's going to be too classy. Otago gives Roll the Dice a Merry Christmas here by 2.5 lengths.
Traffic Warden is doing it pretty well. A couple of reminders, and Traffic Warden won by a length and a quarter. Second, Express Yourself. Ginger and Pink is sprouting wings right over the top of them, and Ginger and Pink have an impressive display.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's weekly preview. Hopefully to all my older viewers, that was a bit of a throwback to the last week's winners package. I enjoyed making it and I hope you enjoyed seeing it once again. Last week was okay, but still not enough to make profit. So let's bounce back into this week. Just a few things to update you on. There will be no preview for next week because I'm away and won't be able to get all of the form done. So next preview will be in 2 weeks' time. I might do some tips and put them on, Twitter or something for Boxing Day at Caulfield or next week at Moonee Valley if I get a chance to do the form for Victoria. And I threw a little highlights package of my winners from the full race card Caulfield tips. That was a bit of a hype sort of package for those 2 winners, Traffic Warden and Ginger and Pink, for you to go look at my Twitter and YouTube community post tips of the full race card tips for a Victorian Saturday meeting if you don't already. So without further ado, we'll get straight on into the preview. We'll start now with early cash as always, trying to find the winner from races 1 to 3 around the country, and this week going to New South Wales, and at Randwick, race 3, number 4, Sharp Shock looks extremely hard to beat. The race on Saturday is a highway over 1,600 metres, and last start, Sharp Shock powered home at Randwick over 1,400 metres from the back to finish a narrow second. Now it draws gate 6, so it can settle in a more forward position, and if it does that, it looks very hard to beat. Time for my plays of the day from the Valley. Last week at Caulfield, my plays of the day only got 1 from 4. But the other 3 losers, they were sweltering in the mounting yard, didn't want to be on them, and they still all ran pretty decent races. So hopefully this week none of that can happen and we can be successful again. So we'll start in race 4 with number 1, Northern Barrage. This horse I was umming and ahhing whether to put it in. I think on form it definitely deserves to go in, but the horse itself, it's a big horse and it gets back around the valley. But I just think over 2,000 metres with the rail true, it'll get its chance. I like Damien Lane going on. Big jockey booking. Draws gate 9, so we'll be away from trouble off the inside. Was good first up over 1,600, and I think second up on Saturday up to the 2,000 metres can improve to win. My next play of the day comes up in race 7 with number 1, Matron Bullwinkle. Really confident on this horse. Draws gate 4 to get a nice run. Celine Gaudray, probably the best rider in Australia at the moment. Celine Gaudray is on, claims the 2 kilos. This horse SP'd $5.50 against Fujita San and Glentanius last start on Cranbourne Cup Day. That's good enough for him to be winning this benchmark 78 here. Was a benchmark 84 last start as well, so drops down in class. I reckon it's the one to beat. My last play of the day comes up in race 9 with number 10, Fearless Writer. I reckon this horse gets a good run from the gate number 3. Was a last start winner. It's been up for a while, but is a last start winner, so I guess you can't knock it too much. Won a Fillies and Mares 70 last start. Now it goes up to Open 78 company, so has to do it up in grade, but gets a bit of weight relief in that sense. Damien Lane sticks with it. I reckon it gets a good run from the gate, as I've already said, and should be really hard to beat. We'll now move on to Drum Kit.
It's going to be an absolute boil-over.
Trying to find the horses $10 or above that can be backed each way, and this week this horse was just borderline single figures. But race 4, number 7, Simeon, in the same race as Northern Barrage, I reckon represents value at its current price. Draws gave one for a good run for Daniel Moore. Reckon this horse is looking for the 2,000 metres now, and the market has underestimated it because all its best form has been over 1,600 metres. Now it's at the 2,000 metres, but Sutton and Young know how to train a stayer, and around the valley, this horse could be too good. It's now time for Around the Country. This has been a pretty successful segment in the past couple of weeks, so let's hope we can keep it going. We'll start at Eagle Farm with race 5, number 14, Jumeirah Beach. Now, this horse trained by Richard and Will Friedman, they bring it up from New South Wales up to Queensland to contest this race. Was good from the back in a 78 over 1,550 metres last start. Gets up to the 1,800 metres this start. I reckon from the soft gate, it's the one to beat in the race. We stay at Eagle Farm with race 7, number 1, Acquitted. Now, this horse I reckon should just be winning. Beat a horse called Without Revenge last start. Gets a 7 kilo weight swing on the horse that it beat. So it's got to be miles clear of that horse now. It's just the rivals like Love Tap and all them that could turn the tables, but I think Acquitted deserves favouritism and should be winning. Going to Randwick now with race 7, number 12, Stromboli. Now, this horse had to get a long way back last start over 1,100 metres at Randwick in a benchmark 88, the same class, track and distance that it faces here from the gate. Had to get a long way back and it just had no chance. Now draws gate 2, can be in a more forward position. Jet Stanley rides, gets in with the 52 kilos below the minimum. I reckon it's the one to beat. And finally, race 8, number 10, Cavalier Charles. Now, this horse, I just like the sight of this horse with 53 kilos on its back for Dylan Gibbons. Draws gate 9 of about 12 or so Dylan has some options from that gate. If it goes back or goes forward, doesn't really matter. It'll be a good chance either way as long as it gets cover or just a good run in transit in general. I think it's a classy horse and can win race number 8. It's now time for the Get Out Stakes, trying to find the winner in the last race around the country. And this week, at the Valley, race 10, number 6, Veloce Caro, or Caro, looks extremely hard to beat. I was on this horse last start at the Valley and it won by about 2 lengths or so. That was in a 64 over 1,200 metres. Only has to go up to a 70 now, also over the 1,200 metres. Draws ideally in gate number 4 for a good run in transit. Carleen Heffel claims the 1.5, brings it down to 58.5 kilos. Although up in class, think it deserves to be and should be very hard to beat. So those are all my tips for this week. This is my tip sheet, just laying out everything. No Sunday session this week because there's no Sunday racing. Or the quaddie's having a spell. It's having a bit of a freshen up and a rest, and we'll go back and do it all again 2 weeks later. But until then, bye for now.